going from the previous video, I've literally talked about like friendships and how just the word friendships has been a very big part of my life. And like I said, going out from the zone really helped change things. But now I want to talk about my definition of friendships, because I've struggled with that for a while too. Like, there was making friends with one thing, struggling with, I still had anxiety of whether, like, do they consider me friends? I consider them friends, but was it really two-way? Or is it just me, and they actually just have other friends? I also had this very big insecurity back then where, like, if this friend... I basically had an anxious attachment style, where I was always clingy. And I was always friendly with things like to whom I consider a best friend, would they also consider me as well. And I always worried about it being whether if it's two-way. So I never knew how to define friendships or close friends until literally this year when I always thought about it, but it wasn't until this year when I took another philosophy course. I first took philosophy of happiness, and then I took philosophy of friendship the quarter after. Also from the same professor, go-to professor. Also, there was like no homework or anything. I learned a lot. But the one thing that, after like a lot of refining with my definition, the thing that really stuck to me the most is Aristotle's friendship definitions. So there's the friendship of, I forgot what the first word. It was like basically just acquaintance, right? Friends I meet from work. And then there's the friends of pleasure. So friends that I could be myself in terms of, like, I'm not gonna disclose a lot about myself, but in terms of humor and the personality, I'll still be myself. So I also believe that I'm obviously, I believe that myself, I just show less of myself, more distance someone else. So acquaintance is like myself, but it's like, I'm not gonna show full of myself. And then friendship with pleasure is that you're close enough to that I'd probably be like fooling myself. I'll be making jokes that I wouldn't otherwise be making to people who I'm not as close with. And I feel completely myself. I don't have social anxiety. I'm not afraid to just have fun and be jokes. But I'll still be very secretive. So to someone who's a friendship with pleasure, I'll be someone who just doesn't disclose much. Unless they see this video, which is completely fine. But yeah, I wouldn't disclose much to them. You'll just see this very goofy side of me. That'll be it. It's only those with friendship of virtue, which also stand out, will most likely be the ones where I've talked to about this stuff, most likely, and even that I still really do. But this is where friendship of virtue is my definition of close friend. And for the most part, from what I learned, it really goes by vibes. But a friend I consider close, not only is it reciprocal, two-way, it's someone who, again, we don't necessarily believe in the same things. In terms of their character, I highly respect and almost look up to. It is likely that those who are in, actually I'll admit it, yeah, I don't want to say it's likely, like, it literally is, like, those who are in, who I consider like friendship of virtue, have had effects on my personality in my life. So, and it's really embarrassing, but I actually have a secret like list of people who I consider it too. I keep track. It's not much, it's only like a few people. And honestly, I don't say enough. I probably should tell someone whether they have an impact, but I haven't. But yeah, that's basically my definition of friends. Basically the story of how it's gotten to that point. At first, I was, in high school, I was focused on just making friends. Like I've said in my out of the comfort zone video, I had no friends. So my mindset at the time was just, I need friends. I just need people. I just made whoever. I didn't consider degrees. I mean, I consider like close friends, right? And I've always fret about that, but I just tried to make friends, and it wasn't until senior year when I realized a whole group of friends were talking shit behind my back, and I was let by another dude who only knew this because he was dating someone who had ties to that group of friends. And I thought at the time, I mean, I didn't think of it much, but I thought at the time, oh, I thought these guys were close. I was like, I've been hanging out with them like every day, and they've been talking shit behind my back, and they might as well almost gotten me suspended over a joke, which, you know, I might have went too far, but which is why I've had this barrier of friendship pleasure versus just acquaintance. That was the very first one, right? Shout out to him. I've basically like stopped talking to most people, and only like I would get my Instagram close friends had like way too many people, and then only got cut down to 10 like instantly. And I really just started thinking about who is the real one, right? Like keyword, right? Gen Z keyword term. Who's the real one? And that really affected me. So I thought, and that's when that friendship virtual out. So for a while, I've only categorized into two categories now: the acquaintances and the friends, right? I still didn't know how to categorize close friends, so it was just those two. The people who I can be myself with, and the people who, you know, I'm just not as close with and don't easily trust. Trust is another thing I will go into now, you know, probably in the next video that we'll record right after this. I won't post immediately, but yeah. Perfect bridge to the next video topic right there. But yeah, right now, that's how I got those two, right? And then I'm trying to think about how the close friends became. Besides taking class, taking the class was one thing, but also realizing, I don't know, I forgot exactly how. I know there was people, basically the gist was that there was people with friends of pleasure, think on the drama, and then that made me realize this drama, I think it involved some girl as well. And it made me realize that, you know, they were friends of pleasure, and I was able to be myself in terms of, you know, be my goofy self, but I'm, you know, these aren't people I really respect. I don't agree with the shit they're doing as much as I care for them. They don't disclose as much either. And that's like a key word, right? Like the people in my close friends, my virtues, they disclose, and I disclose too. But there were some people who I didn't feel that was reciprocated that discloseness. They were very secretive about who they actually are, and you know, they could tolerate me being my full goofy self, but you know, it's something we can't really get in a deeper level, and that's where the friends of virtue is. And I realize it's really important to have the distinction. The drama happened, and someone who I considered close is no longer close because I realized I tried helping them and it didn't work, and I realized we just wasn't meant. Like, we just kind of didn't really cross paths. But yeah, obviously the care aspect goes into it too. I think for the most part, anyone in this friends of pleasure area and above will be someone I will highly care for. I want to check on well-being, and obviously especially emphasis on friends of virtue. Like that's where my ride or dies are. And usually I'm very secretive, and I still am very secretive. I did put some hints, I think, in my videos of who you guys are, so you would know, but I'm very secretive on who I actually consider in this category. Anyways, yeah, that's about my friendship definition of friendship. And yeah, no, literally, it's been like the most important time of my life. I've taken AP Psychology simply because I wanted to learn about social psychology and how to make friends. I've taken a total of like 5 communication classes. I'm not kidding. Like, I started like running. Basically, I did college and high school, and I started that. Usually, everyone starts in like fall of junior year. I went ahead and took summer courses because I wanted to get ahead in learning how to communicate in a way I can make friends. So I took 2 communication courses, and then I ended up taking another 3, to the point where I almost got a communications minor, which I never have. But I am going for a philosophy major now, so it's okay. Well, I'm going for a double degree in CS and philosophy, so it's okay. Like, it's the philosophy milestone is so much better. But at the time, I was like, yeah, I've taken communications just simply for the motivation of I wanted to make friends. Yeah, I've taken 2 psych classes, and then it really continued with the philosophy classes as well. The friendship and happiness went down the same road. And it was literally the only thing that really bugged me for most of my life when I was a kid. And I was really that, I promise you, I was really that privileged where that was the only bug. Well, I'm sure there were other kids that had so much worse things, and I just feel very grateful, which is why I always bring back that I'm grateful. Yep. I'm pretty settled with my definition now, which is great. And there are a few friends that I can confidently say they're like there, and I trust them. I do not need to worry. And now I think I will be on the next video talking about trust. So yeah, see ya.